Yeah. Okay, let's start out with a win for this week. My win for this week is what I'm going to talk about today, like the awesome stuff that now comes with the triplex. Like, I love it, and I finally like got a triplex instead of just ordering individual stuff, so I could like see what it is. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that later, because I'm like, oh, this is an awesome tool. So okay, Charlene, and then Michelle.
I had given some samples of the pink, the slim, to someone, and I've been, messaging. She's been kind of ghosting me. Well, last night she replied, "I haven't really tried it. I want to know more about it before I try it." So this morning I know that's wise of you to do. Let me see if we can get a Zoom meeting going. But I may take over because I ordered a triplex too, and I may just take over the little booklet of triplex and drop it off at her house.
Yeah, if you're near her, that's awesome.
Yeah, I am.
And
not quite on my way, but
would she participate in the 3-day challenge that started?
I just told them.
I could ask her. She'd have to start.
Started yesterday.
I know it did.
Well, I would, if you take her this and she's like, oh my gosh, thanks, you can go, you know what? We also have this online thing. Like, if you want to hop on, you could just read it at your own speed. No big deal. If you want it, let me know. Like, that would be a way to go. If you decide you want more, let me know. You can hop in and just read through things. You don't even really have to participate, kind of a thing.
Right.
So, yeah, because sometimes people are like, what do I have to do? Is it a trap? Like, what trap are you putting me in that I'm locked in?
She has been selling Mary Kay for probably 15 years or so. So she's very, I don't want any MLM because I'm Mary Kay. And I'm like,
Yes, I did Mary Kay for years when I owned my salon.
Did
and one day you'll become a director in that company, and she probably has 30,000 in inventory in her basement. That's the one thing. So it is good that she's already cautious about that. She probably she probably loves the Mary Kay, which is why she sticks with it. And so just to be like, oh, here, I'm going to drop this off, and it's no big deal. Like, I love the no pressure, and it is true, because then when they're like, I kind of like this stuff. Well, tell me a little bit about your comp plan. Then you're just then it's on her terms. So I love that.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, Michelle. Did she freeze? Are you frozen? Okay. Oh, she's going to come back on. Becca, you want to do it? Just a win for the week.
A win for the week?
Uh-huh.
I put on a pair of jeans this morning that were a size smaller than what I've worn for 15, 20 years.
That is awesome.
I called Emily and I told her, and I'm like, I know sizing is different with different things, but still, the number is a size smaller. And they don't fit tight. They fit really loose. And I had a friend tell me the other day that I was looking really good even though I haven't lost any weight. And I've told her that I haven't lost any weight. And I'm like, it's inflammation has gone down drastically, that my clothes are fitting better. My shirts tuck in further.
That's awesome. And like you said, you put them on, because sometimes we can lay on the bed and zip them up and you can't breathe, and you're like, I got into them. But to go, oh, I put them on and they weren't tight. To me, that's even huge. Yeah.
So I'm awesome. Just like, sweet.
You know what? It's interesting because after my first year, people thought I had lost 20 pounds, and I really had only lost 5 after a whole year. But my size had dropped several sizes, and it was the same thing. It was the inflammation. Yeah.
My husband because we both started in April, my husband has probably lost 50 pounds But I mean, he's lost 2 sizes in his shirt and he looks so good. And it's just, and I'm like, thank you, Plex, because he's more comfortable and
That's
and
awesome.
yeah. And I'm like, can I please lose all that weight?
I know. Guys, they can go, I think I might lose weight, and the next day they're like, I'm done. I got my 10 pounds off. And the women are like, 10 months later, I'm still trying for 2.
Right. By the way, Emily just says hi. She's going to pick up her daughter or she'd be on, but she's like,
okay.
I miss you guys.
I know 11 is hard. Like 11, I usually take my daughter to go do her laps. And so I don't know if we might have to discuss moving it back to 10 or something, because 11 kind of is right in the day.
Chloe is in preschool and is getting picked up right now.
Yeah. So maybe we can address that with Lee of like, you know, now that people are in school and stuff, like, could we jump to 9 or 10 or something and make it easier? So, yeah. Okay, Michelle, your turn.
So, on weight loss, I was excited because Nate and I walked the dogs last night, and he said that he gained 20 pounds by using the triplex. And you have to understand that my kids are super small, and I knew that they wouldn't gain a lot of weight. We'd be happy if they like shot up to 120, but he's at 155.
That's awesome.
And he's like almost 7 feet, so he can use the weight or not. But you can't tell. He hasn't got, like, his clothes haven't gotten tight or anything like that. He's just, I don't know how to say it. He's
getting healthy. Yeah, he's getting healthy. He's like keeping a healthy weight. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm gonna share about that sometime. But yeah, I'm super excited about it.
That's awesome. Good. Thank you so much. Okay, so yes, my win was like this triplex brochure, because I did have somebody, and I made a post the other day that was like about a pink drink or something, and this one girl was like, I love my Dr. Pepper and this and that, and I was like, but how would you like to not have to need your Dr. Pepper, you know? And now we're actually talking, and she's like, my daughter's pregnant, can't hold anything down, and is looking for good energy drinks. I'm like, well, I got a good energy drink, but I go, the pink drink's not an energy drink, you know? And so I was explaining to her, and she's like, oh my gosh, she needs this. So sometimes even
I
people
don't need my Dr. Pepper anymore.
Yeah. Isn't that awesome?
I still enjoy it, but I don't need it.
Yes. That is the biggest difference. I don't need sugar, but I still enjoy sugar. Yeah. Like, you can choose to drink one if you want to, but you don't have to be a slave to it. Yeah. Like, I love that. And so for me commenting back, like, well, because she was like, I have to, I need to start my day with it. And I was like, how would you like to not need it? You know, like, you drink it because you want it. I did have one person that when she was started, she's like, so I have to skip my pink drink on days I want to drink a Dr. Pepper, or I just can't drink it. And I was like, but that's a good thing, right? Like, so, okay. So I wanted to go over this a little bit. This is what comes in the triplexes. Okay. This little card, I think it would be really good when you should be messaging people like, hey, let me know when you get your package, that you can go, hey, do you want to hop on a Zoom, or hey, real quick, or shoot a little video yourself going through these and send it to them and make it like less than 2 minutes and be like, oh my gosh, you probably got this in your box. Don't throw it away. Turn it over, and it's going to tell you how many BioCleanse to start with and how many ProBio 5. And do you love how they finally came out with a bottle of 60 BioCleanse so they don't have to cancel their BioCleanse every other month? Like, I love that. So if you like say, don't throw away those little papers, like, it's really important, and say, turn it over, and it'll like show you how to get started. It's kind of hard to see. The AM and the PM is on there, you know? And I was like, oh, what a good thing to know, because it's in a box and people will just go, oh, that's just like a paper. To just go, hey, don't throw it away, turn it over. That helps give you instructions. And then how cool is this? This book talks about weed, seed, and feed. And, you know, and I always like, it's interesting that I'll talk to people about like their guts, like a gut garden. I'm like, you have to go in and clean out the weeds and stuff. And they'll be like, that's such a good way to explain it, you know, like, oh, I can kind of picture that in my mind, you know? And so it goes through the triplex and it talks about gut health, microbiome, what it is. And I'm like, how nice is that? Because we can send videos. Sometimes they watch the videos, sometimes they don't. But if you go, hey, take a minute to read through that little pamphlet, it's like a quick, 3-minute read, then they're going to go, oh, this is something I shouldn't throw away. Maybe they read the instructions on this and they throw it away, but they're probably not as likely to throw this away. So that maybe later on when they go, I don't know if I'm seeing results, go, hey, pull out that book that came with it and reread about how microbiome takes some time and how gut health is so important. Like, to me, it's kind of like when you first get started and get that ambassador box and you're like, but I'm not sharing. And then like months later, you're like, where's that stuff that like came in that box that I didn't throw away and I want to read about it now, So just, say, hey, and don't throw away the stuff that comes with it. It's really good information. That might just be enough that will spark their interest that they might read it. But the thing I love about this is it talks about the mighty microbiome, get to know your gut, talks about what weed, feed, and seed is, happy gut. But then it goes in to each of the products and gives them a little highlight on BioCleanse, a little highlight on ProBio 5, talks about both the slims. So maybe they ordered Hunger Control, but they can learn about the microbiome, because most of the time they're like, I don't know what these are. And you're like, just order the microbiome or just order Hunger Control. You'll love it. But then they can read about it, because eventually I usually go, oh, I use both. And I just kind of swap back according to like how I'm feeling. Like I know for me, I do much, much better on Hunger Control. So if I run out of Hunger Control, I'm okay to do microbiome. But if I go more than a couple days, more than like a week, when I finally get my Hunger Control, I'm like, oh, I'm so glad I got my Hunger Control. Like, it totally helps my hunger so much that I don't have munchies, that when I go without it for more than a week or two, then I'm like, I'm missing it. So it tells about both of them. And
Hey,
then,
Rachel.
oh yeah, go ahead.
One thing that Brooke was talking about when she was up here doing a little bit of training
Yeah.
is she actually does Hunger Control in the morning and microbiome in the afternoon. And all of the research of the weight loss and all of that has to do with 2 slims a day. And I think that, and I love doing it in the afternoon too.
Yes.
And it's been a huge difference the month that we've done it.
See, I've actually mentioned that to people. I go, if after a month you're loving slim enough and weight loss is more important to you, then you might want to add in 2. And I do suggest that. That's what I've done in the past. I do Hunger Control in the morning, because then it curbs your hunger, and then the microbiome in the afternoon, and then you're getting the good feed. So yes, thank you for bringing that up, because I usually tell people like 1 slim is going to start balancing you and making you healthy. But that second slim is really going to help work on the weight loss to just get results a little bit quicker than if you're doing it with just 1. So yes, to try both of them and mix both of them in is an awesome way to do it. So yes, thank you so much for bringing that. And then I just wanted to mention, like, it does go into Vital Biome and X Factor in the book. So I'm like, how great is that you get them on the triplex, you start them on the basics, but then they get information. So then later on, they're like, what are these other 2 products? What's this Vital Biome? What's the, and then that's where you can go, oh yeah, you should add in the X Factor for sure. And then after a second month, add in the Vital Biome. And then you're going to see great, like, to me, it's just, the products work. It just magnifies it and speeds it up a little bit better. And you see more changes more quickly. So yeah, so I just kind of wanted to go over that today and be like, this is a gold mine they're getting. And I love that it comes with every triplex, so that like, if for some reason they threw it away, you can be like, that's okay. Next month you'll get another one, kind of a thing. And I love that we can sell them the smaller bottles of BioCleanse in the triplex, and then it really is a 30-day supply of everything. And so then it's a true 30-day supply, and you don't have to like every 4 months take off BioCleanse, or they have too much or whatever. So has anybody else used any of this and seen success or told your people about it yet?
I haven't used I'll let you know how mine goes next week.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah,
I'll drop it
seriously.
off.
Yeah, like if you're going to drop it off.
I'm also glad that they offer the larger bottle too. Because
Yes.
I take more of the magnesium of the BioCleanse than just for a day, and my body needs it.
Yeah, I'll order the 180 because I'm like, there's 9 of us. Well, now there's 12 of us taking it. That I would rather order the bigger bottles, and then I try to keep a smaller one and just kind of dump it in and stuff like that, so that I don't have to have 10 bottles of BioCleanse on my cover. So yes, I do love. Like, I wish they offered bigger bottles of like the ProBio 5 as well.
Me too.
You know,
too.
So that could be something.
Maybe we
offer.
could suggest that.
Yeah. Well, and when they do those surveys, I don't know if you took, like, I swear there's been like a million surveys lately, but one was on like, is packaging important to you? Like one thing that drives me crazy is I'm like I would love to see packaging that was more like recycle friendly. That's not just this, like there's days I'm like, I throw away 10 of these hard bottles and yeah, they're recyclable, but like, can I buy in bulk in baggies or something that's like less? I don't know. If you're an ambassador and you're building the business, can you order in bulk? I don't know, but yeah, like I think things like that to go, okay, we have more than one size of BioCleanse. Can we have more than one size of like ProBio 5 or something? I don't know. So yeah, so that's good. And I think you can always give suggestions to like Jules. So like Lee and Brooke and everybody above you, and now Kirsten, like, because every now and again they have their Jewel feeds and the feedback, and most things that come out in the company are because Jules are on boards and they're suggesting it. So it is always good to be like, hey, here's a suggestion, and maybe it makes it up and maybe it doesn't, but you know, they're good things. Like, I know this is like awesome.
There's Kirsten. I was just going to ask about you, Kirsten. Wondering if you were still alive.
I'm alive. I don't know what it is about this time on Wednesdays. Like, I just cannot get it together.
Oh, we were just actually discussing that maybe we should make it a little earlier now that school's in and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just like, all of a sudden I'm like, ah! So, sorry.
So did you choose to go with the lifestyle bonus instead of the...
I haven't decided.
Okay.
I was just telling Cody, I'm like, we need to like figure it out. I'm just having a tough time deciding.
All right. And Rachel, who is listed as Lee today, are you,
okay.
How is your team going? Are you building? How close are you?
It's good. I've got Michelle. I'm still in the Ruby area, maybe a little less at the moment, but I'm still going strong. So yeah.
What, Kirsten? We're not hearing you.
Oh, we can't hear you, Kirsten.
There.
Oh, we can hear your wind.
Oh, it's nice.
Sounds like you're in a tunnel. Oh, there we go. A little bit.
Oh, because it was like, my phone's right on my vent.
Oh.
That's probably why. No, I just think it's like one huge step for everyone is just being consistent, like showing up. Like, if you just show up every day and keep doing the things, like, you'll grow. It may not be at rocket speed, but any growth is growth. So and that's Rachel. Like, she shows up every day and she works and that's the thing is, Rachel can tell you this too. Like, you will have ups and downs. You'll have people that are like, yeah, I'm going to go Ruby. And then they're like, just kidding. And then you'll have people like, yeah, I'm going to do this. Just kidding. So, but as long as you yourself show up and you put in the work and you continually, because like sometimes when I'm like, okay, nothing's really happening, nobody's really doing anything, I have to look at, okay, what am I doing? If 2 days have gone by and there's no change in my back office, the only person that I can count on to change that is myself. So that's when you go, okay, I'm sick of looking at that 0 or that 10 or whatever that is on your new ambassadors, and you start enrolling some people. You get to work. You drum it up, you know? Sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. I'll stop talking.
No, that's perfect. Yeah, that's awesome.
That's what I needed to hear, Kirsten.
I will tell you, I did have my cousin that has started and stopped at least 3 or 4 times. Like, it's one of those, she's been on my husband's account, she's been on my account, and then she's jumped over as a customer and this and that and stuff. And she's probably over 300 pounds. And she's like, okay, I'm going to do it. And then she probably has never, ever been consistent more than a month. And she was like, I'm serious this time. And we re-signed her up again. So, I mean, it's because I'm still there and I'm still messaging her and I'm still just loving her as a family member, as a friend. And I don't be like, you know, you know, I did actually a book signing up in the small town where she lives, and she came and she's like, you're still doing it. You're still talking about, you know? And so now she's like, now I'm really ready to actually do something. And I really want to get this weight off. She's like, now I'm ready to commit. And I'm like, it took time. It took time with her starting and stopping and starting and stopping. And then like going, I have extra product. Let me use it for my daughter and this and that. And now she's like, okay, now I'm serious. And so it does. Like there are people that they're not quite ready. And then they come around eventually. And then they're like, okay, now I'm ready to go, you know? And so you'll have people on your team like that. And I have a ton of people who are like, I'm getting to Ruby and this and that. And then they just drop off completely for one reason or another, you know? And it's like, that's okay. You just move forward, find somebody else. And I mean, Kirsten, how many times were you like, I'm going Emerald this month. I'm going Emerald this month for, you know, for months and months and months.
Probably like 47 months in a row.
Yeah. And now you're like, totally worth it. I'm now Emerald, you know, like.
Well, and it's one of those things too, where it's like, it happened the way it was supposed to happen. Like, as crazy as it sounds, it was never the right time when I thought it was the right time. And so, but it's still like, this month is not, it's like you get there, but you got to maintain that. And it's interesting. So like,
I think that's one of the biggest things with deciding what you want is before you go out and get that car, you want to make sure that you're going to keep it before you lock yourself into something.
It's just like, do I want, well, and I'm at the position where I need to get rid of my current car anyways. So do I want to just take the Lexus that will essentially be free, or do I want to get like the new Yukons that just came out that are like $97.5 million and pay the difference? Like, I've always had such a big vehicle, like test driving that Lexus SUV. I was like, I feel like a smart car. Like, I don't know. But it's cool to have that option, but it didn't happen overnight and it wasn't easy. And it was an up and down roller coaster, but I was never willing to throw in the towel completely. Like there were days I've had a rough month. I talked to Brooke the other day. I'm like, sorry, I've kind of just like retreated the last 2 weeks. And I can't even explain why. I don't even know. Like things aren't going bad. I think we just all get in those little funks. And Sunday night, I was like, screw this. I kept looking at my back office and I'm like, hey, what's happening this month? Nothing's happening. And then I'm like, I'm not really doing anything. How can I expect anything to be coming from anyone else? So I got to work and I started messaging people. I'm going to lunch with someone today. I'm going to lunch with someone tomorrow. I have a girl signing up that's same thing. She started with me in the beginning and did 2 months and quit and has still been following me. And I just, like you said, I message her, hey, how's life? Like comment on her posts. She lives in Texas, but she messaged me this morning and she's like, okay, I think I'm ready to try it again. Because people start for a reason. And if they quit, that reason still exists. Mm-hmm. Right. And so 2 years later, very few people, and I've seen it happen though, very few people can make a different lifestyle change outside of Plexus and see amazing results. So 2-3 years later, this girl's going, okay, I've had 3 people in the last 2 months, like reactivate after being inactive for like 1 to 2 to 3 years. And it's because there is.
Oh, your sound went away.
Didn't go away.
Oh.
All right.
So Kirsten, completely unrelated to Plexus. My son.
My son.
What's
that? You cut out. What was that? Your son what?
My son Oscar and her daughter Houston are in the same class.
Oh.
Oh, really? Yes. That's cool. I did not know that. She's having a little bit of an adjustment into all day school. That's not been super.
I absolutely love Miss Lords.
She's the best. My other girls had her, so I fought. I had to like get Houston switched because they put her in the other class, and I was like, no, I want Miss Lords. So I love her too.
Kirsten's one of those moms. I need my daughter switched. No.
well, and I'm like with the uncertainty of what's going to happen, Mrs. Lord's like, she knows who I am, what I am. Like, I just know we could work really well together if we do end up doing remote learning.
Yeah.
And the other teacher's like brand new. I've never met her. And I was like, and it was actually Miss Lord's that pulled the strings and got her in.
Oh, good. Good.
Cool. I'll have to tell Houston that I know his mom.
Oscar.
Oscar.
Cool. Okay. I think that's it for today, unless anyone has any other comments or
Rachel, where are you at for Leaders Retreat?
I'm working on it,
Me
but
too.
I'm pretty far.
It's okay.
I'm not.
It's good. It's okay. There's still 2 months. Well, 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I was trying to map it yesterday for like, if you have 250 points, if you have 400 points,
yeah.
and it's like everything sounds so easy, but it's like, if you could just get some silvers even, because just a level 1 rank advancement is 75 points. That's the most points of any other.
Yeah.
3 or 4 silvers and then like a couple. Yeah.
If I ranked gold, I would make it.
Oh.
Let's do it, Charlene.
Yeah.
So I need 6 and 1 silver.
One
Do
silver.
you think you could get some
Or
people to
2
be on Zoom?
silvers. I'll work on that.
Okay.
I will. Currently I have just the gal that I've talked. I just have like 2, maybe 3.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
What?
I was going to say, you saw Michelle like say, hey, anyone want to Zoom? So if you get people
Okay.
and Lee's not available, Kirsten's not available, like reach out to all of us because somebody would help you do a Zoom.
Well, and I feel like I was telling Lori last night, I'm like, tell your people, like, look, I'm pushing really hard to earn this trip. I really need it. Do you have any friends that you think could benefit from these products? Do you have any friends you could invite to a Zoom call to just help me out? I think people are more willing to do those kinds of things because they want to help you. And my friends are like, oh, I'm trying to win a contest. Will you buy my mascara? I'm like, yeah, I'll buy some mascara. It's fine, So if you just tell people on your team, like, look, Lori and I are really working for this trip. We'd love to make it. Like, you might not be interested in telling your friends and family or sharing the business or doing the business, but do you have anybody could benefit? And we'll just do a quick, all you have to do is invite them and we'll do the rest kind of a situation.
I did make it one year, Charlene, just asking customers to buy a Slim. And I just asked a ton of people, just said, hey, I know you're not interested, but would you be willing to try 1 month of Slim? And that got me 1 year too. So
Yeah, because PV's a big.
well,
big
and
point.
when you get customers PV, it gives you PV, which gives you points, and a customer that gives you
Customer
points.
Mhm.
So you kind of can double dip on customers, and they only have to spend 75. So
Right. So it's like if you could get a couple of those and then 3 level 1s and then a couple silvers, it sounds like a lot, but it's really doable. But the part that, and this is me saying it to myself, being bold, is it's not going to happen if you don't take action. Like it's not just going to magically
The Lord
happen.
can't drive. The Lord can't steer a parked car.
yeah.
Nope, you got to get in the seat, you got to put it in drive, and you got to go. And buckle your seatbelt because it might be scary. So you reach out to me, Lori, like we'll do whatever we can do. I want as many people there as possible. Worst case scenario, you get a cash payout.
That's
Worst
right.
scenario, I was talking to Brooke, I'm like, if by some small chance they cancel it, which I really don't think they will, we'll go anyways. We'll rent a big old huge house in Arizona and we'll go anyways. So keep pushing, keep working.
Okay.
You've got this.
I have plane tickets to Arizona. So
Well, there you go.
There you go.
Yep.
You've already
And I'm
manifested it then.
Yes. I'm close to the shopping spree. I've never earned it and it's on my birthday. So like, okay, that would be a pretty awesome birthday present. So I'm working hard for that. I'm going to earn it by the end of the month, but it's been slow for me too. I mean, it's slow. Everyone goes through times, right? I mean,
Yep.
there are ones where Brooke only enrolls 2 level 1s. I mean, it happens, but you already have people in your back office that at least are interested in the product. There's gold. There's stuff to work with what you already have. You just need to work it.
You're right. All right.
All right.
Okay.
So
Love
good
you guys.
positive. Yes. Okay. Love you guys. Everyone have a great day.